Twitter suspended Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene for 7 days. Damn. Last time it was like 12 hours. This time it's 7 days. She's really ramping it up. For violating the platform's coronavirus misinformation policy. It's her fourth strike, Twitter said, which means she could be permanently barred if she violates the misinformation policy again. Nice. Good meme. I think what she said was, she said that the vaccines are failing or something like that. On Monday evening, Greene said on Twitter, the FDA should not approve the COVID vaccines. She said there were too many reports of infection and spread of the coronavirus among vaccinated people. Wait, these vaccines were never marketed as 100% effective. Breakthrough infections are rare, but yeah, they're going to happen. They never said otherwise. And added that the vaccines were, quote, failing and, quote, do not reduce the spread of the virus and neither do masks. Yeah, I don't care if she gets permabanned for this. I don't have a Ushanka around me, but can we put on our off-left perspective for a second? Can we take a second and really grit down and really appreciate the potential virtues of a strictly authoritarian view on society? I have to say, man, if the excesses of free speech extremism lead to stuff like this, then that is a strong mark against the virtue of free speech extremism. Holy fuck. Okay? There are look, for the most part, I'm a pretty firm advocate of people's ability to say whatever dumb shit they want, but like, these people will literally get hundreds of thousands of people killed by prolonging a pandemic that has the potential to stay with us virtually forever. It's not just the Delta variant with COVID now. There's a bunch of other... It's mutating and spreading. And we need to get a handle on this, but we're not going to be able to as long as people have some kind of political or financial incentive to lie about all this, you know? It is unbelievable. It's this in climate change, man, you know? It's this in climate change. First of all, obviously, TOS on websites is fine. This is okay. That's what it's allowed. Websites should have TOS. That's fine. But moreover, okay, people who are against the banning of people like Marjorie Taylor Greene need to come up with a convincing answer to this question. What do you do if the rampant and deliberate spread of misinformation kills people? Hundreds of thousands of people. What do you do? Like, you need an answer to that question, because I never hear it. The answers I get are either, oh, well, the free marketplace of ideas will ensure the best concepts rise to the top, which is obviously not true. Or they'll say, well, that's just the cost of a free society. Okay, well, if the cost, first of all, we're not talking about the cost of a free society. We're talking about the cost of allowing rampant misinformation on an ongoing pandemic. You can cut that out and still have a free society. And if the cost of that ability is the interminable onslaught of disease to every human on Earth, cycling over and over and over again, such to the point that the original vaccines are no longer effective in combating the multiple active strains, then I don't know, maybe we should reassess our values on that. Nothing gets me feeling authoritarian quite like the knowledge that people are using free speech to kill the planet. That is nothing brings me there quite as quickly as that. But for real though, if people disagree with that, and it's fine if they do, they need to have answers. But for the most part, they don't, because they either are unwilling to answer the question, or they don't disagree with the misinformation being spread. They're like, what misinformation? Yeah, vaccines are failing. And it's like, well, then you don't have a right to speak on this, because you don't even know what the misinformation is. Or you're unwilling to acknowledge it because you benefit in some way from pretending you don't know that that's misinformation. You get what I mean, right? You all understand what I mean? The problem is there isn't really a clear solution to this either. What do you want to do? Arrest people who spread COVID misinformation? I don't want to do that. I don't think that's correct. I don't want that. At what point does a death toll hit where, like, I don't know. Like, at what point does it go far enough that you run out of options? I don't know. Well, again, we'll talk about climate change. I legitimately don't have an answer to this question. By default, I have a pretty high opinion of people. I'd like to think people are generally pretty good and they try their best, but we're not talking about the earnest opinions of people who have arrived at their conclusions based on, like, deductive reasoning. We're talking about people whose political and business ambitions are fueled through the deliberate spread of misinformation. I mean, we're talking about people very maliciously exploiting the values of our society to kill everyone for short-term gain.